It'll be a bit like, what's that game? The
Generation
game. We have a Black & Decker saw. It's
just another
an
frustration.
added little frustration. Well, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the video. Christmas time. And all of that stuff.
Jingle bells. Oh, let it snow, actually.
Let it snow. Unfortunately, this isn't really going to be a rant video. We're just going to share our current experience relating to the Royal Mail strikes and how it's affected our business. Strap in, strap in.
And I'm sure you're all finding it exactly the same.
Yeah, we thought it'd be interesting to share what's going on with us. You can share in the comments below how it's affected you, if at all.
Yeah.
And before we know we're going to get comments about this, this is not reflecting our opinions on whether they should be striking or not. In fact, we support workers' rights to strike for better paying conditions, 100%. This video is about how that action is affecting our business. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, we're not having a go at the Royal Mail or their right to strike. In fact, we support that.
Disclaimers out the way.
But it is having a very big impact on our business right now.
At Christmas.
Well, yes, of course, time of year hasn't helped.
No.
But we were just saying that the first couple of strikes didn't really seem to affect us. Certainly the first one, we had no repercussions and we stuck with Royal Mail for that.
Yeah, so we carried on sticking with Royal Mail.
In all the years I've been reselling, since the late 90s, this has been the worst couple of weeks. I'm just going to read out the items that are currently missing in action and we have open cases.
I was just going to add though that what you just said about the fact that it wasn't as bad before, that's because it wasn't Christmas.
Well, yes.
I mean, right now that they're so overwhelmed with the amount of post going through that, you know, people are sending out to relatives and loved ones, etc. That, you know, plus online orders for people Christmas shopping, it's just crazy and they're not coping.
No. But we do have some positive news. We've been having a conversation with eBay about certain things. Well, I say we, you have.
Yeah.
So we'll get onto that in a minute. But just to give you an idea, these are the items that, as I said, are missing in action, and we have either had open cases that we've had to refund in some cases. The rest are still ongoing cases. So currently, lost in the post are a Black & Decker saw.
Delayed in the post.
Delayed.
We'll say that. We don't think they're lost in the post. They're just somewhere needing to filter through.
So there is a Black & Decker saw. I'll pop the pictures on screen here. It'll be a bit like, what's that game? The
Generation
game. We have a Black & Decker saw. Captain America DVDs. Portmeirion mugs. Call of Duty Xbox game. A gravy boat. Amber glass bowl. JAJ serving plate. Connect 4 spare pieces.
A cuddly toy.
In fact, wait for it, 2 cuddly toys, this one as well.
A Stife Bear and a Jellycat dog. And
a set of PG Woodhouse books. Did you remember all of those? We'll be testing you at the end. So
we currently have 8 item not received cases open.
Yep. And 2 new ones today, which haven't opened a case yet, but they almost certainly will.
They probably will.
In our, like I say, in 20 odd years of selling online, we have never had anything anything remotely this bad.
Even Jeff's upset by it.
We're not. He wants to come up and join in. Jeffrey, don't be rude. Right, sorry about that. Jeffrey has been taken away by our daughter to the other room. He wants to come up here.
Banished.
He wants to get involved. He thinks we're doing our Sunday live stream.
Yeah.
He wants to come up and say hello. So where were we? That was the list of 10 items that have not made it to their destination. And the likelihood is we will have to refund those. Now, you've been having discussions, as I said, with eBay about this whole thing.
Yeah, and eBay was saying that as long as it's got a tracking number and it's showing movement within the tracking, then they will give extra leeway on any item not received cases opened. So if a buyer then escalates that to eBay, asks eBay to step in, then there will be some leeway. But they were only doing that for tracking that was showing movement. So whereas with basic Royal Mail tracking, it only shows the point from being dispatched to attempted to being delivered or delivered. It doesn't show any movement. So I brought that up with eBay, and they have, thankfully and helpfully, come back and said that they will include anything that has tracking uploaded at all will now have a 10-day leeway. So if you have an item not received case open and the buyer then asks eBay to step in, they'll put a 10-day hold on that so that you have an extra 10 days to allow the item to be delivered.
And then, as long as it is scanned at the other end, you are then covered.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing, and this might be contentious, is that I get the feeling that corners are being cut. I don't know whether it's temporary staff, whether it's just dealing with the backlog, lack of scanners. I don't know what it feels like, and I might be wrong, that things aren't getting scanned at the other end, which leaves us completely open to effectively losing that sale. Right?
Yeah, because there will be that element of people that are going to take advantage of this.
Any system
and
can be abused.
I'm pretty sure we've had at least a couple of those from the tone of the messages.
Possibly.
It feels like that.
Possibly. And
from
we don't know.
experience, it feels like that. We don't know for sure, but from experience, it feels like that.
But eBay are at least trying to help us out on this. And we've had some very helpful feedback, and they really tried to understand what you've been explaining to them.
Yeah.
The fact that 3 days to respond is just not enough time now. We've heard things are taking 2 weeks. You know, second class delivery taking 2 weeks.
It's more than 2 weeks.
Or
it's
more.
way more than 2 weeks. There are things from the end of November that still haven't arrived yet.
Yeah. So you end up in a situation where somebody rightfully complains because their item hasn't arrived and opens a case. And then we have 3 days to sort it out, basically refund them. And if we don't deal with it within those 3 days, as it stood before, eBay steps in and refunds them because, no, hasn't arrived.
And then we get a ding on our account.
We get a ding on our account. We lose the sale, the cost of the item. The item will eventually get there, and we almost certainly never see that back, and we lose the item. We lose the postage as well. We lose in that scenario. And we are facing 10 lose scenarios.
And it feels very much at the moment like pretty much most of what we're selling, we're giving away to people for free. And we're paying for the pleasure.
Well, we have really slacked off on eBay. We've been dealing with a lot of other stuff, doing up the house, and you know what we've been dealing with. So we've not been listing a lot. So our sales have been really low. So
really low.
So to have 10 items lost in the ether is a big chunk of our sales. So that's been really demoralising, should we say.
Really demoralising.
So yeah, I would love to know if you've all been struggling with this. Have you had a conversation with eBay about,
I was just going to say that after that conversation with eBay, this morning I woke up to a buyer had asked eBay to step in, eBay refunded immediately, and I was like, oh, well, that hasn't worked then. So I contacted eBay again, and they said because it was such a low value, it was a DVD.
It was Captain America, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because it was such a low value, they've refunded the buyer straight away. We keep our money and we won't get a ding on our account. They didn't communicate that, so I did think, oh, well, this hasn't worked then. But they have assured me that it is in place, it is working, and they are protecting us. So.
But only for low value? What's the
I
low
don't
value
know.
bit?
I don't know. I didn't.
You know, so the black.
They made that decision that because it was a low value sale, they would just deal with it straight away. But we don't lose out. So.
I mean, most of this is the kind of £10, £15 sales. There's a £30 sale there. That was Neil?
Yeah, there's a couple
I
of
don't know.
things like that amber glass bowl. I was a bit gutted about. I was a bit gutted that I had to refund the Port Merion mugs.
The PG Woodhouse book set, that was 25
Yeah.
quid. Black and Decker saw was 30, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. So yeah,
There have
anyway.
been some really nice sales, and it is a shame. It feels a bit.
Yeah. It's been a frustrating week or so.
Or toe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure it has for you. We've heard stories from other resellers. We know we're not alone in this.
Yeah.
And we understand the reasons why. We just thought it would be interesting to give you an insight into where we're at with it and our little conversations with eBay about how they are going to protect us from this. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will let you know how these 10 pan out. Well, we've refunded one so far.
Refunded one. eBay have refunded another.
8 to go.
So I do have at least 3 that are supposed to be resolved by tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah.
Fun. Oh, and then we sent something to the Czech Republic, was it?
You know the hair receiver that I sold? Yes, but that wasn't anything to do with the strikes.
No.
It was to do with the problem with her address. So it's gone all the way to the Czech Republic, quicker than these things here that have gone trying to go somewhere in our own country. And then it got there and they said they couldn't deliver it, and now it's all coming all the way back to us again. And she still wants it, so we've got to try and resolve that once that's come back.
But the postage cost involved in that is a lot. So it will take away all, unless she's willing to pay again.
I
on
hope
the post.
she is, because
We'll lose any profit we made.
Yeah.
If we have to pay for that again. It's one of those things. But that's nothing to do with the Royal Mail strikes.
No, it's
just another
frustration.
An added little frustration.
Yeah, and the frustrating thing is that I printed it off straight from Etsy, so it was the address that she'd given me. So I don't know what's gone on there.
The joys of reselling.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, one and all. Yeah, let us know in the comments below how you're getting on with it all. Has it affected you? Did you switch to another courier? You know, and how is that going?
Yeah, has that been better for you?
Because maybe we should have, but we stuck doggedly with Royal Mail, and are we regretting it? A little bit maybe now, to be perfectly honest. But pop a comment below, let us know how you're doing, and sorry for the lack of video output. That's just how it is at the moment. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I don't know. I will share a video in between our heads up here somewhere, so if you want to carry on watching us too, check this video out. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.